It's Sunday morning across the SEC, and everybody's undefeated after the first Saturday and the first Thursday round of games. Don't look at the scores to judge these teams. Yeah, there are some scores that you can look at and say that's exactly what we expected. Alabama winning big over Utah State. That was about what you expected. Everybody else won by a fairly expected score, with the exception of Billy Napier down at Florida, where the Gators won his opener, beating number 7 ranked Utah. And it was a game that came down to the end, and some people will say Utah State made a mistake and lost that game rather than Florida winning it. That's not really fair. First-year coach, he came in, everybody said he inherited just a complete dumpster fire, and Florida wouldn't win. Florida was going to get blown out in this game coming up. Well, that didn't happen, and the Gators won it. So now over there in the East, the guys arguing over there are probably going to have more things to argue about. Here in the West, Arkansas's 31-24 win over Cincinnati Saturday night at Razorbacks Stadium. And I say Saturday night, the game was actually played in the afternoon. It was so long, though, it finished in the evening. And by the time we came out of the press conferences with Sam Pittman and a bunch of the players, it was dark. So I keep referring to it as dark, but it was actually Saturday afternoon. The score was 31-24. It was more of a 31-17 game, 31-10. Something like that. Cincinnati got behind early, mainly because Cincinnati couldn't get a field goal kicker. Much like Mississippi State came into Razorback Stadium in 2021 and couldn't kick field goals and lost that game. Cincinnati comes in. They can't kick a field goal in the first half, get down 14-0, missed 2 of them. Kicker hit the upright on one of them from a pretty good distance. And being an old kicker, I've always maintained if you hit the upright on the fly that high up, it should count for 6 points. That's me. I'm an old kicker. A lot of people disagree. Anyway, Arkansas wins it. Now they get into the SEC play against a South Carolina team that did not look bad. Now, I'm not ready to say that we've got Steve Spurrier Gamecocks back where they're going to contend for the East title, but they are going to be a contender. And one thing I want to correct right quick, I'm sorry, I said Utah State. It was Utah, number 7 ranked. I don't know where that came from. Alabama beat Utah State is exactly where I got that on the brain. So anyway, we've corrected that. I'm new to all this video stuff, so you've got to bear with me sometimes talking about it on the air. I'm used to doing radio where we can just stop and go back and change everything, and then we're good. South Carolina last night beat Georgia State 35-14, and they come in to face the Razorbacks this week at Razorback Stadium. It will be an 11 a.m. kickoff. The 11 a.m. kickoffs, for some reason, seem to favor the visitors. You go back through the histories, and the visiting team wins a larger number of those games than you would think. I'll look it up. We'll get one of the geeks on it and look it up. The visiting team wins a surprisingly large amount of those games. So it's something to keep in the back of your mind. Plus, Shane Beamer has the Gamecocks playing about as well as they played in a number of years. That game will get underway at 11 o'clock. Yesterday, the star of the game, the defense, Dwight McLaughlin, a 51-yard interception return on Cincinnati's first possession. After they had driven down the field and they got to the Arkansas 26, Ben Bryant tries to throw an out route down deep inside the red zone. McLaughlin, the transfer from LSU, jumped the route, went down the right sidelines, didn't have enough speed or conditioning or whatever to pull away and get the touchdown. But he did set up the Razorbacks, and KJ Jefferson ran in from 15 yards out and gave them the first touchdown. Then we go all the way, bookends. Big play in the first quarter. Now we go to the fourth quarter. Georgia Tech transfer Jordan Dominic comes in, and he struggled the first couple of days of fall camp, they said. Then he got his bearings, and they started talking about him in the last couple of weeks. What Dominic was doing in practice was getting everybody's attention the last couple of weeks. He had settled in to his role with this team. I know in talking to them, he was much more comfortable in Fayetteville now than when he first came here earlier in the summer. He loves Fayetteville, loves the area, very comfortable here now. And he made plays like it yesterday. In the fourth quarter, though, he sacked the quarterback, sacked Cincinnati's quarterback coming from his blind side, knocked the ball loose. We've got a photo of it up on allHOGS. And then Dominic makes the recovery. He was tackled immediately, but it looked like he was looking to pick it up and take off to the end zone with it. That set up a scoring touchdown that turned a 24-17 game into a 31-17 game, because 2 plays later, KJ Jefferson throws to Trey Knox on the right boundary. He gets a block from Jaden Hasselwood, noted wide receiver, making a big block on the outside to free up a tight end who goes 32 yards for a touchdown. That makes it 31-17. And Cincinnati comes down, gets a so what touchdown, kicks it back to Arkansas with about 5 minutes and 26 seconds left. Arkansas just keeps the ball on the ground. End of game. South Carolina will see all that film. South Carolina will also see on film that you can throw on Arkansas secondary, or you can get guys open. Ben Bryant couldn't hit them. We'll see if Spencer Rattler does Saturday, but that's going to be the biggest topic of conversation all week long as Arkansas gets ready to play South Carolina next Saturday. Cincinnati game in the books. Wasn't exactly pretty, but it was a win. And to the people on social media who said we're going to be on here explaining how Arkansas should not have won that game against Cincinnati, no, we didn't predict them. We predicted Arkansas to beat Cincinnati. What I did say was that game is not going to be pretty, and there's going to be a lot of aspects that a lot of fans, coaches, and players are going to have to come back and address, and they're going to get exposed. They got the passing game coverage exposed Saturday. Cincinnati had players that weren't even running in the same zip code on a route. Quarterback couldn't get it there. We'll see if Spencer Rattler, don't forget, 2 years ago, he was the Heisman Trophy frontrunner at this point in time. We'll see next Saturday. We'll be talking about it all day. We will have Sam Pittman in the morning at noon, and then we will have that, and I'll have an analysis of that after we get through. Then we will have practice in the afternoon, and we may find out some more of the walking wounded, Jalen Cattle and Miles Slusher. We'll see how they're doing. Find out the other nicks and bumps. Find out any progress on Dominic Johnson, who did not get into the game Saturday. The running was handled by Rocket Sanders and A.J. Green. Dominion got in the game for just a courtesy appearance. And we'll find out more about Dominic Johnson coming back. See if there's anything else that we need to know. And we will tell you in what you need to know tomorrow afternoon. LSU and Florida State play tonight. Watch that. Be a good game. It will be on ESPN and Fubo TV. Other than that, it was a good week for the SEC. If somebody lost, I'm not remembering who it was. Hey, even Vanderbilt won a football game big. Could the Commodores be back? No, I don't think so either. I'm Andy. I'm out.